Welcome. Today we are discussing one of the most common sources of friction in fiduciary relationships, determining reasonable trustee compensation in Texas. When a trust document is silent on trustee pay, Texas law requires a careful balancing of work performed, risks assumed, and results achieved to avoid costly litigation. The starting point for this discussion is the Texas Property Code, specifically Section 114.061. This statute entitles trustees to reasonable compensation from the trust estate, but it intentionally leaves the term reasonable undefined to allow for flexibility across different types of trusts. Importantly, a court has the discretion to reduce or entirely deny compensation if a trustee has committed a breach of trust. Fee entitlement is tied to the quality of performance. Since the statutes provide no formula, Texas courts use a multi-factor test to determine reasonableness in compensation. The test evaluates the time and labor expended and recognizes that complex tasks, such as managing a family business or mineral interests, warrant higher pay than a simple brokerage account. Courts will also consider local customary rates charged by professional fiduciaries in the same Texas county, as well as the total responsibility and personal liability risk assumed by the trustee. The final key element of the judicial test is the trustee's fidelity and quality of performance. Did they act with loyalty and achieve positive outcomes for the beneficiaries? Texas case law offers crucial lessons on the dangers of poor documentation and mismanagement. In the case of Lee versus Lee, a trustee was completely denied a $300,000 fee because of a pattern of poor record keeping, including over a decade of missing accountings. The Bailey versus Rodriguez case establishes that the burden of proof rests solely on the party seeking the fee. If a trustee cannot provide evidence of value added, their claim will likely fail. Texas law permits different methods of compensation calculation, but the end result must always be justifiable as reasonable. Corporate trustees often use a percentage-based structure, typically ranging from 0.5% to 1.5% of the trust's market value annually. Individual trustees often find that an hourly rate is easier to defend in court, based on their professional expertise or the prevailing rate for fiduciaries in the community. To ensure your compensation withstands judicial scrutiny and beneficiary objections, trustees should follow these practical steps. First, keep a contemporaneous log. Track every hour spent on trust business in real time to create a defensible record. Second, communicate early. Disclose the proposed compensation structure to beneficiaries at the outset, and benchmark your rate against local professional fiduciaries. Third, prioritize transparency. Provide regular, detailed accountings to demonstrate the work being performed and the health of the trust assets. By treating compensation as a transparent business calculation, you can protect yourself from liability and maintain healthy relationships with your beneficiaries.